this up a bit. Okay. Yeah, that should do. Hi everybody. Arthur here. Man, I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? This Corona has become something else, man. And if you told me 3 weeks ago this would be the world we're living in, I would have given you $100. Look at my beard. Not shaving. I'm not shaving until I'm out of this curfew. That's what I'm not shaving until the quarantine period is over. That's what I'm gonna do. Until the curve is leveled and starts going down. I'm not shaving. That's my resolution. I look good, but I look that bad. Anyway, Corona. Yes, we're all in this together. All this Corona drama. Arthur the Taylor, as you already know, I was already putting together some interesting content on African Enlightenment. And, I shared on my other pages about my plan to set up this podcast that would be, interviewing top thinkers globally, but most especially from Africa, about some steps we can take to awaken African minds. The youth, man, have been indoctrinated into some crazy mental colonial structures, the state, the church, the school system, the culture, the post-colonial culture, all that stuff. And I think Africa needs to stop playing the victimization game, and we need to get together and talk, and figure out way forward, into this enlightenment of a world that is run by individual sovereignty. So right, while colonialism was being sold in Africa, they discouraged subsistence living. But I personally think this was a mistake. I think subsistence lifestyle is actually the best lifestyle, the most responsible lifestyle that any man can embark on. And I actually think every man, before, for example, taking a wife or anything like that, you need to invest in agriculture. You need to invest in food. At least you need to be responsible for your food. If you're lucky and you can buy land, set up a farm. If you're not lucky, then invest in an agricultural product or project. Anyway, yeah, so I've been creating some interesting content. Corona has leveled me, I won't lie. So now I have to start at the beginner class again, which is a vlog. A vlog is a video blog. So I guess that's what I'll be doing. I'll be I'll be talking to this thing here for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll be sharing, some of my thoughts on the situation. I'm not going to allow myself to be extinct. I'm not dinosaur. Fuck out of here. I'm a person, and I think I can contribute even if I'm in this lockdown. So I'm choosing not to sleep, but to take advantage of the moment and do something positive out of this quarantine, which is talk to the youth, the young people. Anyway, moving on. I guess we'll do this vlog. A weird but a good transition into the podcast. And this is new to me. I've not done many vlogs before. So I think it can help me put my language together, help me become a better communicator and build up to podcast days, be articulate and interview and bring out the right results, ask the right questions to these smart people and bring out the best results for the youth. So, right, Corona. Man, many people are dying. It's painful. It's painful. The USA is a mess. Italy, oh man, Italy was a disaster. The numbers in the US are growing. I have a feeling the US will topple Italy, but Italy was a disaster. Man, so crazy, so crazy. China was a mess as well. I don't know if China is giving us the right numbers though. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to know. Maybe they've really handled it well. I know North Korea has handled it well, but I don't know if the China is giving us the right numbers. I hate what China is doing. Not China, the country per se, but the citizens with the xenophobia. I understand lots of Africans are being humiliated, not allowed to, use public transportation. Um, everyone is not sympathy from the landlords, who are demanding for payment, and being dismissive of the tough times. This is sad, and I think the Chinese Communist Party needs to step up and intervene, help out these people. There are lots of Chinese all over the world doing business and that have been welcomed in in African countries, for example. And it's absurd that this is what China is choosing to do. So this xenophobia has to end, and we need to encourage more togetherness in this crisis. Mm? We really need this subsistence living and lifestyle back, because in subsistence people are able to, you know, go to the bush and forest and figure out medicine and herbs and things like that. You know, right now I don't know if there's not been any pharmaceutical research in Africa. I don't know if the healthcare has the capacity to cope with the situation. I mean, if the US, the Italy's, the giants of the world are failing at, handling this disaster, then, what's going to happen in Africa? Man, it's crazy. The long curfews, then, like, this colonial education has made people dependent on the government, taken away responsibility. Instead of worrying about responsibility, people worry about rights, and they're used to the government feeding them everything. So now, you're forcing them into long curfews. I thought it was 3 weeks. Now I hear there's an extension. We're going to go into another month of curfew time. How are people supposed to cope with, which reminds me, uh, the food price hikes. The farmers are revenging. You've made healthcare expensive. You've made schools unaffordable. With your capitalistic mentality, trying to get the profit in your free markets. And now the farmers who have been subsistent, have the food. And now tables have shifted. It's time for you to appeal to them to not put up the prices, forgetting what you've been doing. I mean, there's some advantages to this corona thing, because it's really going to awaken our minds to some of the ways we've been acting. But I appeal to the farmers to please not hike the prices. Let people buy food, uh, and then maybe people can also buy land and start investing in agriculture. You need to be responsible for your food and not let yourself be in this situation again, ever again. Actually, I'm appealing to Silicon Valley. Think about agriculture startups, because that should be the most profitable business. Thinking about my wife and my son, I'm actually currently in Tel Aviv. I got caught up in Tel Aviv. I had come here for some business, and this is where the corona caught me. And now with the airports shut down, I'm stuck here. So I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about my little son and my wife. I miss those guys. My wife is a beautiful soul, beautiful person. I don't know. I miss them, but maybe if I was home, the noise, I would have been quarantining myself in the quarantine. Couples being forced to live together. Couples that have not connected being forced to live together. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's time to build bridges. It's time to build, and that's the importance of psychology training. We need to understand personalities and how to deal with people. You know, so I hope this quarantine will also, bring us together in a way, help us build bridges. One thing that is for sure is that this quarantine has helped us understand that we are not as complex as we assume. Nature is the boss. You know, with the corona, there is no rightists, leftists, right wing, left wing. Corona doesn't care if you're gay, straight, pronouns. Don't care if you're a they. I don't know if they or they or he or she. Compelled speech. I don't see the left is asking for people to call them by specific pronouns anymore. All that is not important. Corona doesn't care if you're black, yellow, white, green. All that means nothing. And it's helping us to see the nonsense that, we've buried our heads into and forgotten about important things. We need to look at the lessons we can learn from this quarantine, moving into a wiser future. Okay, we'll be talking about so many topics on this vlog. I think I'll call it the same name as the podcast, which is the Kenrald Experience. Yeah, so ask your questions that we'll be answering. I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, guys. Peace.